I'd turn on USA because I watched like Law and Order SVU marathons, and I would see that like there's 2 full days of Modern Family marathons. I was like, wow, this is it. This is a thing. This is freaking awesome.
I'm here today chatting with the lovely and talented Ariel Winter. How are you today, Ariel?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And I really appreciate you taking time to chat today. We are here to talk about The Quarry, a very exciting, intriguing new horror game coming out from Supermassive Games. It's out June 10th. So at the time we're talking, it's out tomorrow.
Yeah, very it's pretty exciting.
I am very eager. How did you come to get involved with the project initially?
So I got the offer for The Quarry and I read through it and I was like, first of all, I love horror. Super awesome. Second of all, I have never done this before. I've never done a mocap game. I've just never done that in general. And I've always loved doing video games and voiceover. And I was like, all right, this is basically a mix of voiceover and live acting. And I was like, you know what? This sounds freaking awesome. And the people who made this are awesome. And I just would absolutely love to be a part of it. And 2K is super cool and Supermassive, and our director and we worked with Digital Domain and they were incredible. And all the other actors, it really was just like, wow, they are interested in me. Awesome. I would absolutely love to be a part of this. So awesome new experience. I really was super excited and it was a no-brainer to say, yeah.
Well, I mean, it looked like you said, the mocap, all that, it looks really, really cool. And you have done a lot of voice acting in the past. So how was this experience different from the way that you did it prior?
Sorry, my dogs are going a little bit crazy.
Oh, no, that's okay.
They saw someone at the door.
A cat could wander across the screen at any moment here. So
I mean, truly, it's like if there is somebody on the next block, they hear it. They hear it and they are ready to go. They're fired up. Could you ask me that again?
That's okay. I'm just curious how was doing recording for the Quarry a little different than right. Voice acting you've done in the past.
Sorry, my brain stopped. I heard too much barking. It's super different. It is so different because usually regular voice acting, I just go into the studio, I'm in my PJs and I just go for it and we record. Nobody sees me. There's nothing crazy. I'm in and out, it's so different. And with this, it was like full days of body scans, face scans, everything. You're like in a giant orb of lights and cameras and you're sitting there and like, they're like, be extremely still. And then you just hear like thousands of flashes and the lights are going off and everything. And then you do body scans. You're like standing there in a bra and shorts and you're like, they scan every part of your body and well, not every part, thankfully, but like most parts. We do all these crazy faces and we scream and we pretend we're falling and we pretend we're dying and we walk in circles, we fake run, we do all sorts of things. We say these absolutely bizarre sentences in so many different ways. Like we'll say something, like Sally went and picked seashells down by the seashore, like super angry, then super sad, then super everything, like just to get, your face and to be able to digitize that. And it is so incredible and so different. And it's a lot more work, but it is so rewarding when you see the final product because it really they did such an incredible job. It looks exactly like me. Like it really looks exactly like me. We all look exactly the same as if it was a live action movie. Obviously slightly different because we are digital, but it looks just like us. So it really is so fulfilling to do work like that. It's crazy when you're doing the scenes, like you have like a kissing scene with somebody and it like legitimately looks like you're kissing the person, but you are in a helmet, a Velcro suit, and your helmet has a camera and you're not touching the other person. And you're like, have your arms outstretched and you're doing like weird kissy faces into this camera. And they turned that into an incredible scene that looks like just a regular live action kissing scene. So it really is so different. And I love all the different types of acting I do, but this one was just a whole new experience and it really was so cool.
Yeah, it looks really neat. And I guess for anyone who's not familiar quite yet, we should give a little background on it. So the Quarry is about a group of camp counselors.
Absolutely.
Not dissimilar from, maybe Friday the 13th,
Mm-hmm.
who wind up in a very terrifying, scary situation. And it's you, and then there's Halston Sage, just an incredible cast. David Arquette is there. I mean, there's so many people. You said that you're a horror fan, which
I
is
am.
I think people are always excited. Well, horror fans are always excited to find out someone else is a horror fan.
Yeah.
What kind of horror, like, did what really drew you into horror? Like, what was maybe the first horror movie that you ever watched, or the first couple?
Well, Paranormal Activity definitely was one of the first. Paranormal Activity, The Ring. Those were sort of like my first forays into horror. And I just loved them. I mean, talking like the supernatural horror things, like I have always believed in ghosts and all that stuff. And like, it's always been like, oh my God, I think it's real. Like I'm scared, like whatever, but it's so cool. And so I always got into that and loved all those movies. And then I just started to be like, all right, there's not enough for me to watch. I'm watching them too fast. I need to venture into everything. I need to watch everything, all horror things. I don't think I definitely haven't seen Saw, because that one I'm like, okay, I think that's a little bit, I think it's a little bit too gory for me, but, like everything else I'm pretty interested in. Yeah. And I always loved it. Like I just got into it and I was like, this stuff is really cool. This is so cool. I'm scared, but I'm intrigued and it's entertaining. And, like I believe in that supernatural stuff. So, yeah, I've just always been into that. So it was definitely cool to get to venture into this, like also in a genre that I think is really awesome.
Yeah. And it's neat too. Like the video game aspect too is really a unique way to sort of experience horror, because I was talking to a friend of mine who is a psychologist, and they were saying, they're also a big horror fan, and they were saying that studies or whatever on horror and horror fans, essentially our brains kind of like use that as a way of experiencing fear in a safe environment. And so it's like for people who are big horror fans, that's kind of what is going on in their brain. And it seems like with a video game like this, like with the Quarry and games past, Resident Evil, whatever, it sort of is a whole other level of that opportunity to experience horror in a safe environment, and engage with it even.
Absolutely, because it's also, you get to make the choices that the characters do. Like you decide what they do. So it's like, and that's also what I think is cool, because I'm not the biggest gamer. I've never been good at games. Just I'm bad at them. And so I get really discouraged and sad. And so then I stop. But what's really cool about it is like, you don't have to be the world's best gamer to play this. Like you literally are watching a super awesome movie that you also get to make choices. It's not like you're in a room where it's like, all right, you kill everyone in this room or else your game's over and your team is sad and everyone hates you. Like, it's like you watch it and you're like, all right, this is super cool. I'm basically watching a movie, but I'm also deciding if this person runs from the creature or not, or if they hide from the creature, or like, does this person kiss this person? Does this person like this person? Like, it's just a whole, like, wow. You basically make your own game. And yes, it's scary, but I think it helps a little bit for people who might be like too scared or think it might be too scary to be like, you get to choose. It'll still be scary regardless, because the choices are pretty scary. But it's, it takes you, I think, a little bit like, I think it helps people who are like a little bit scared when you get to make those choices, because it takes you out of, sometimes maybe you're like, oh my God, I'm so scared. You're like, okay, I get to make a choice now. Hold on. Pause the scary for just a second. Let me make this choice and then let me be scared again. So yeah, I just think it's a great game for people who may not be great at video games or even maybe particularly like them at first. I think they're going to see this and be like, wow, it's like beautifully done. They have done it so incredible, and I like movies, so let me try this. Maybe I'm gonna love video games, and yeah. So I'm excited for people to see it and have it reach like a very large audience. And I don't think a lot of video games do that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Listen, I'm also a casual gamer. I really do not play games all often. I love, playing a Call of Duty campaign here and there. I do not do online gaming because I do not want to be picked on.
I know people are aggressive.
They can be. So I hear what you're saying. I think that the Quarry looks like the kind of game that casual gamers are going to jump on, and horror fans are going to jump on, and it's going to really meet a lot of cool opportunities there for them. If it's okay, I'd love to talk a little bit about Modern Family. I mean, such an iconic series that you were a part of. And I was thinking about the show, and my wife and I were fans. We watched the whole thing, and I was thinking about how that Modern Family is one of those sitcoms now. It is The Office. It is Seinfeld. It is Home Improvement. It's one of those sitcoms that's forever etched in the pantheon of sitcom the sitcom universe. And I was wondering if there was a moment for you, maybe filming or even after, that you realized oh, this show is big.
Yeah, I definitely think when I was younger and we started the show, I was 11, so I don't think I knew I knew that the show, before it even premiered, I'm pretty sure we got picked up for a full season. And so that was awesome. And we were like, okay, people like it. Cool. And then as time went on and we were going to all the award shows, it was pretty apparent early on that people loved the show. And it was one of those, it would probably be a very big show. And then just as time went on and I got older and older, and it's just become shows that I would watch that are huge iconic shows that people watch marathons of. When you see a marathon of The Office, you turn it on, you're like, awesome, I love it, let's watch it. And the amount of marathons that go on for Modern Family, and the amount that people watch it, it's the same. And we obviously always loved it. And just to know that so many other people love it like that. I love shows that, because when you are part of it, you are filming all the funny scenes, and you see it so many times, it's a bit different. Obviously you love it, but it's not like watching a marathon of a show you're not a part of. So it definitely, when I saw things like that, and I would see I'd turn on USA because I watched Law and Order SVU marathons, and I would see that there's 2 full days of Modern Family marathons. I was like, wow, this is it. This is a thing. This is freaking awesome. We love this so much, and other people love this so much. And we are just so lucky that people love it this much, and that we are able to continue doing it, and that people want to watch us over and over and over again. And so, yeah, I think that was the moment where I was like, okay, all righty, we made it there. That's awesome.
And I guess, piggybacking kind of on that, with all of the revival and renewals and reboots and all that kind of stuff, do you foresee a time when you or anyone else in the cast would want to maybe pick back up with the story in the future, or do you feel like you're happy where it ended?
Oh, that's a tough one, because obviously we'd all love to get back to work and work together again. That would be awesome. But I do think that where the story ended was perfect for the show. I think that it would need to be a spinoff of the show, where the characters are now. Okay. Because I think, a continuation of where we left off would be difficult. We're all, we've all gotten older, and people are used to seeing that. And I don't know if a reboot would particularly work, but you never know. You never know. Time passes and things go on. I mean, I think we'd all be interested in a spinoff or just in general, something to be able to bring back the show that we love so much and loved working on. But I don't know if that will happen. You never know, really. You never know. I think everyone kind of when it was ending, it was we were okay, this is it. And that's okay. We're sad. Obviously we loved working here and loved working with each other, but we had a great run. We had a great time. And now we get to end it on a great note that feels right. Some shows go on for too long, and, I get it. They love making their show, and the show is awesome, but sometimes the stories run out. And we didn't want to be that. We wanted to end it where people are all right, we feel everything's buttoned up and awesome. And yes, we missed the show, but that was a good time.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. And yeah, I think like you said, fans would probably love that as well if it came back. But I think also, it really ended on a great note. And I
Yeah,
think if that's all it ever is, then that's perfect too. Ariel, thank you very much for taking time to chat today. I really appreciate it.
absolutely. Thank
The
you.
Quarry looks awesome. I'm very excited to play it. And it's out again June 10th. That's Friday, June 10th, from Supermassive Games. And it's PlayStation, it's Xbox, it's PC, it's all that stuff. So nobody's left out.
Ready for y'all. Everyone, get the game.